What's going on, everybody? It is another day. It's Christmas Eve. I got off work a little bit early, and today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I'm not working on the G or any drift car things today, but it's kind of a nice day out. It's in the 50s, it's sunny, feels good, and I think I want to get the S13 out and just go for a little drive. Kind of introduce it to the channel because I haven't done it yet. I showed it a little bit in the past video, but I want to get it out, stretch its legs a little bit. I haven't driven it in a couple weeks, so it needs to be driven. The weather's been kind of crap, but now it's a nice sunny day, Christmas Eve. I'm going to get it uncovered and fire it up and go for a drive. And hopefully it starts because I haven't driven it and the battery might be dead, but we'll see. Fingers crossed. So I keep it covered up just to keep the paint out of the direct sunlight, as much as I hate car covers. Let's get it uncovered. Like I'm wrapping a present. There she's all uncovered. Looking pretty. A little dusty. I'm sitting under the cover, but we'll see if she starts now. A little weak, but she started. Good car. All right, she's getting warmed up now, so let's go for a little drive. Gas too. She ain't been driven in a while. She's a little rough. Old cars, you gotta drive them. If you don't, then you start seeing problems arise sooner than later. So, just love driving this car so much. I've owned some nice cars and stuff, but this one, I've always wanted one. It was unobtainable for me for many years. Just I got away from cars in general for a while. Focused on other things, and then when I had some time and some extra funds to build a car, I was like, what do I want? You know, what do I want to build? I didn't want another Honda. That's all I've ever drove were Hondas. Hondas are great, don't get me wrong, but I was a little bored with front wheel drive. You know, that platform was a little boring to me after a while, after so many years of owning. And then I had been watching drifting for the last 5 years. I always know what it was, but I was never into it. I always liked the S chassis, always heard a lot about them. I just had my heart set on a 240. Eventually, I was like, all right, I'm going to buy a project car. It's going to be a 240. Let's go. Looked around, found this one, and it just snowballed from there. I originally bought it to make it a drift car, and then when I got the car and saw that it had really good bones, I was like, I can't drift this thing. If I would have left it in the state that it was, it would have been a good candidate for it. But I went down the rabbit hole of restoring it, and I've made it just such a good street car. Still has AC, although it's not charged. Still has AC. It's quick enough, makes enough power, makes all the right noises, and it looks, I mean, without tooting my own horn, it looks beautiful. I love this car. It's just such a blast. You get such a visceral experience driving it. And everybody says that, right, about old cars, but like, it's the 100% truth. There's no safeties, there's no airbags. It's just you and the car. And that's what it's all about. That's what driving is about. That's why we love cars as car guys, you know, and girls. It's just unexplainable to the average person who just uses a car to get from point A to B. It's special to me. It's loud as fuck. It's kind of annoying, but like, that's what gives it its character, you know, its charm. Smile on my face the whole time I'm driving. Even though it's noisy, the body creaks and stuff here and there, it's a 34-year-old car, you know, it's old, for sure. But it's my baby, and I love it. Midday coffee. filler up. Good rig. Even if dusty, it still looks pretty. The one thing I will say, it does suck about this car, is no cup holders. I need to buy some of the ones that people make to either go here or some of the ones that clip to this, but I really don't want to break these, so 3D printed one might be the move, because this doesn't hold. Doesn't hold good at all. And here we are. It's my 91 240SX, painted in AJ4 active red. And originally the car was like all S13 hatches. It was that maroon, dark red. Somebody painted it black. I stripped it all down and did a full color change, door jambs and everything. Everything done just like factory. Let's see where to start. We'll start with the body kit. The most obvious thing, full Japanese 180SX Type X aero, all OEM except the front lip. That is a dorky dory lip, because the OEM one I could not justify spending $2,000 on it, and the dorky dory one, they fit amazing. You just have to kind of do a little trimming to get it to fit perfect, but they do fit nice. So that's the only thing that's not OEM on the kit. Front bumper's brand new, all the lights, skirts, picked up from a guy in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He got them in Japan, and then I drove out there to get them. Rear spats and valance, all OEM, OEM wing. The car came with the Type X taillights, which is awesome. I was very stoked about that. I put the Kevlar garnish on there. And let's see what else. So it has TE37s. It's kind of the go-to on any Japanese car. So many people have TEs these days, but they're popular for a reason. They're such a sick wheel, and they're expensive, but they're so good. These are 17x9 plus 22. 17's all around. I like the 17-18 stagger that people do on S chassis, but I feel like on stock OEM aero, 17x9 22 squared is such a good look. It allows you to be pretty low but still look good. Got 245/40 tires all the way around, and then Z32 brakes. I painted them the same color as the car just to match. I was debating yellow, white, red, all kinds of colors, black. Red just seemed to kind of be the move, you know. Red calipers look fast, and it's color match. It's not just AutoZone spray paint, it's base clear. Got the Ganadors. They're Aero 23, but these things, truthfully, they look so sick, and they're insanely good quality, good fitment. They don't angle up weird like some of the aftermarket Aero mirrors do. They look just like Ganadors, and they're handmade in New Zealand. Super sick. My custom license plate I made, or had made. Let's see. We'll go to the inside next. So the inside is probably my favorite part of the car. I mean, I love all of it, but the inside is where you spend your time and you want it to be nice. So I have these Recaro SR2s that I got from Japan. These are the only set that I've ever seen in this Recaro pattern. The red and orange scatter pattern, they call it. I've seen the old school Recaros in them, never these, and they're real. They're legit seats. I've checked the serial numbers and everything. Maybe they were recovered in Japan. Regardless, it's the only set I've ever seen, and it just hits with the car. It goes so good. I love that 90s style. A Tomei shifter with a little Injuku hoodie. HKS Nardi 50th anniversary wheel, and a NRG quick release. I'll pop that off there. And then my gauges for the AFR and boost, and then a beautiful crackless dash, which I had to drive a couple hours away to get down in Atlanta. Got a pretty good deal on. Got the Nismo little shifter bezel piece. I mean, it's just kind of a cool piece. It's not old logo, but it's cool. Full interior. Seats are a little dirty, but oh well. Full black interior, which is sick. And the interior is just simple. It's basic, it's clean. My one thing that I have a complaint about is somebody cut holes in the door for tweeters at one point. Other than that, they're pretty good shape. They need recovered. But I just, you know, since I got the car painted and everything, I just drive it, you know. And I'm not done with the car by any means. I just enjoy it so much. It's hard for me to justify like tearing it apart and doing all kinds of stuff to it when it's just pretty perfect as it is. Perfect street car. It's not a show car. I mean, it could be, but it's not why I built it. It's a good street car. It's fun. So the paint on it is all PPG products from start to finish. Got over $5,000 in liquid sprayable material on the car, which is insane. That's why paint jobs are so expensive to this level. But it's got PPG EnviroBase base coat with DC 4000 clear, and it just has such good depth of image. I haven't cut this clear. I just denibbed it, got little specks out and buffed it, and it's got a full Chemical Guys, or no, Adams Polishes ceramic coat. So it's killer. Man, look at that. Just when a certain light catches it, it's just beautiful. The hood's a little dusty, but such good gloss. I love this car. I'm so proud of it and stoked on it, and I wanted to introduce it to the channel finally. So let me pop the hood and show you about underneath. Behold, the KAT. In my opinion, I love the KA. I think it's a good motor. It's a truck motor, but they're solid. And this motor was actually put in 2021 in California, where the car came from originally, and I have receipts in the glove box. I pulled the valve cover off to do gaskets, and the inside of the head is beautiful, and it looks like it had been resurfaced and cleaned at some point, maybe. Pulled the oil pan off to do the drain for the turbo, and the bottom end was so clean, I wasn't worried about putting it on low boost. And it has full ISR 3871 kit, Koyo radiator, radium catch can, ISR fuel pressure regulator, Dishworks 740cc injectors. I customized this fuel rail and kind of cleaned it up and got it zinc coated, and also cleaned that up, cut a bunch of brackets off so it looks nicer. Miata battery, GK Tech coolant overflow. It's got Megan fully adjustable coilovers. They came on the car, they were brand new, and I just haven't replaced them. Eventually I'll go BCs. But these, they ride good. Pretty basic setup though. It's on an RS Enthalpy ROM tune. It's on like 9 pounds of boost, sometimes 10, peaks around 10. This is just phase one of the engine setup. I do plan on pulling this out, fully restoring the engine bay, cleaning it up, and then doing a top mount, maybe like a Garrett G30. This was just something to make the car a little more fun for a while. I want to put it on a link standalone. Speaking of that, it has a full Wiring Specialties harness, Pro Series harness, and transmission harness. It has their dual fan controllers. These are ISR fans. Dual relay fan controller. I have their plug and play fuel pump relay kit, which is sick. I have a video about that on my Instagram. It's such a cool setup. All Wiring Specialties wiring on the car, except the chassis harness, obviously. It's all stock still. But yeah, this car started its life as a base model automatic slick top, and when I bought it, somebody had put a aftermarket sunroof in it, which was a bummer because I love a slick top. And it was slick top originally, so I got a roof skin. I went and cut one off of another car that was junk, fully reskinned it. The whole process is on my Instagram. I wish I would have put it on YouTube, but I got straight to work and wasn't focused on filming. But beautiful slick top roof, all done right. I work at a body shop. It was all done professionally and legit. Has a factory viscous LSD HKS high power exhaust. It's got Nismo lower control arms and all ISR Pro adjustable arms, brand new axles, fully refreshed diff, all resealed, fresh fluid, everything. Custom exhaust that is tucked up pretty much as high as you can go. The flex pipe kind of sits just below the frame rail, but the car's not slammed, so pinch welds are all mint. I spent so much time straightening these out and getting them perfect. And the body man who helped me pull this rocker out, he spent probably 2 days of metal work just to get the rocker straight and perfect. So it's beautiful underneath. Yeah, Mountainside Welding and Fabrication here in Athens, Tennessee, where I live. They did the exhaust. They killed it. It sounds amazing. It's beautiful. But it's a really simple, I say simple, but like in terms of S chassis, this is about as, to do it right, it's about as simple as it can get if you have the funds to do so. It's not a bragging statement. It's just, these things are so expensive. If you're going to do it, you might as well do it right. And it's not perfect. You know, it's, the body I would say is pretty perfect. It's straight as an arrow, slick as glass, and I want the engine bay to be the same way. And it will be eventually. I just need some garage space to get that done in the future. For now, it's just a good ripper, you know. Before I do the engine bay, I'm going to do new steering rack, all Nismo arms in the front, Nismo power brace, and new power steering kit just because it needs it. The rear is all new and it feels so tight, and the front still has a little slop. But it's a good car, and I wanted to introduce it properly rather than just a little snippet in another video about the drift car. But this is my street car, you know. I drive this every now and then now, maybe on weekends, on pretty days like today. I take my kids to school in it, you know, stuff like that. They love it. And it's just a cool car. I've took it to shows and stuff, but that's not why I built it. You know, it's my baby. The smile that this car gives me and the feeling that I get, and as weird as that might sound and generic, I couldn't get it from anything else. You know, it's different than like my kids. Like, I love my kids, obviously. But this is something like you put your blood, sweat, and tears and a whole lot of fucking money into these things. And when you see it, you can stand back and just look at it, you know. It makes you feel good. And I sometimes I'll just sit on my front steps and I just stare at this thing. I mean, I'll be honest with you, fully transparent. I just stare at it when it's uncovered because it's beautiful. And it just makes me happy. I'm proud of it. I'm just yapping at this point. I mean, the overview is pretty much done on the car. It's that's it, you know. Type X 180SX replica with a KAT, and it's my baby. I love it so much, and I'm stoked to show it in a proper way. Makes me happy. Future plans, I've already went over those, you know. Redo the engine bay, bigger turbo, maybe built motor. I don't think I'll go SR. I personally don't think it's worth it. They're cool, and it would really make it a full Type X replica, even though it's left-hand drive. But probably built KA G30 on a Link ECU would be so sick. Yeah, but that's later on. I gotta build the drift car. I want to get some seat time, and this thing is just my Sunday cruiser. Like those boomers that drive around in their old 57 Chevys. No hate, those things are sick. I love those. I started out working on old Chevys and stuff, so I have a soft spot for those in my heart. But that's what I feel like driving this. You know, I'm 30, driving my S chassis that's older than me. You know, and it's a fun experience. It's a fun time. And those of you who have S chassis, you know, if you don't have S chassis, you get one. They're amazing. They're just a money pit, so be prepared. Hope you have a good job. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this. I'm gonna sit here and stare at it a little bit, and then I might whip a donut or two here just to show you that it is capable of ripping. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, me rambling about the 240. If you want to see anything else on this car, or anything in more detail, let me know. I'd be happy to show it. If you're stoked on G content, drift content, I know there's so much of it out there in the world on YouTube, but I haven't done it, so I'm gonna do it. I'll end this off with some rips in the car, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.